All right, let's get into it. Today, we're taking apart an empire, one built not over decades, but in just a few years, by one of the biggest names in media history, MrBeast.
So let's just start with a number. 479 million. Get this, that's how many people subscribe to his main YouTube channel. To give you some perspective, that's way more than the entire population of the United States. We're talking about a media footprint that doesn't just rival old-school media giants, it often crushes them. So that's the big question, right? How did Jimmy Donaldson, just a kid from North Carolina, build this global brand that has totally redefined entertainment, business, and yeah, even philanthropy? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. To really get the empire, you have to start with the content, because his journey to the top wasn't some overnight viral fluke. Oh no, it was a calculated, almost obsessive climb up the YouTube ladder. His first massive breakthrough? It was back in 2017, and it was just bizarre. He made a 40-hour video of himself just counting to 100,000. It sounds ridiculous, but it went crazy viral. And right there, that was the signal of his formula. Take an extreme challenge, give it a simple, super clickable title, and boom. And from that point on, the scale just exploded. You fast forward a few years to 2021, and he's not just counting anymore. He is recreating the entire set from Netflix's Squid Game for a real-life tournament with almost $500,000 on the line. I mean, this is the perfect example of his move into these massive budget productions that feel less like YouTube videos and more like Hollywood blockbusters. But here's the thing, none of this was an accident. As he said himself, his success was born out of an almost unhealthy obsession. For years, he and his friends just analyzed every little detail of the YouTube algorithm. They were trying to figure out what makes people click, and more importantly, what makes them stay and watch. It wasn't art, it was a science. And a huge part of that science is something called retention editing. He basically perfected this style. You've seen it. Super fast cuts, loud sound effects, no dead air, not even for a second. Every single moment is engineered to keep your brain firing and your eyes glued to the screen. It's a style that keeps both you and the algorithm very, very happy. Okay, but figuring out YouTube, that was just step one. Those billions of views became the launchpad for a massive business empire that goes way beyond a computer screen. And just look at how fast he moved. Starting in 2020, he just started launching one major consumer brand after another. He used his massive audience to build a ghost kitchen empire with MrBeast Burger, a snack company with Feastables, then a huge TV deal with Amazon, and even a snack kit brand called Lunchly. He literally turned his views into business ventures. But his business portfolio, which he calls Beast Industries, it goes even wider than that. He's pouring money back into other creators with something called juice funds, partnering up with fintech companies like Current. He even acquired the app Step. And then he built a temporary theme park in Saudi Arabia. I mean, come on, this isn't just a YouTuber anymore. This is a full-blown conglomerate. And the result of all that? Well, according to Fortune, his estimated net worth as of 2026 is a staggering $2.6 billion. That number right there just shows you how incredibly successful that strategy has been. But there's another piece to the MrBeast brand, something that's totally woven into his content and his business, and that's large-scale philanthropy. He teamed up with another huge creator, Mark Rober, for these massive fundraising drives. You know, Team Trees, Team Seas, Team Water, and together they have raised nearly $100 million. He's basically proven that you can rally the creator community for huge, real-world charitable impact. And it goes way beyond just those big campaigns. He started a dedicated channel, Beast Philanthropy, where 100% of the revenue is donated, and through that, he funds these incredibly direct projects. We're talking about funding surgeries so 1,000 blind people can see again, or building 100 wells in Africa. Giving away money isn't a side gig for him. It's baked right into the DNA of the brand. But, you know, this level of fame and influence, it just doesn't happen without a price. His incredible rise has also brought a growing number of really serious controversies and criticisms. And this contrast is really at the heart of the whole MrBeast debate. On the one hand, you've got all the awards, 4-time Creator of the Year, one of Time's most influential people, but on the other hand, you have these serious allegations about a toxic workplace, lawsuits, and a lot of criticism about his entire model of philanthropy. One of the loudest criticisms has come from people who used to work for him. This quote here, from a former editor reported by the New York Times, paints a picture of a really tough, demeaning work environment, which is, a pretty stark contrast to his generous public image. And the challenges have really started to pile up.
There's a class action lawsuit from people who are on his Beast game show, another one from a former employee alleging discrimination, an incident with authorities in Mexico over a video shoot, and then there's that constant debate about whether his charity work is more of a spectacle than a real solution.
So where does all of this leave us? Well, MrBeast hasn't just built an empire for himself. He's completely reshaped what the entire entertainment landscape even looks like.
You know, his impact is so huge that people have actually coined a term for it: beastification. It's what they call this high-budget, high-stakes, retention-edited style that is now the gold standard. Countless other creators are trying to copy it, for better or for worse.
And that really brings us to the final big question. As this beastification becomes the new normal, what does it mean for the future? Is this even a sustainable model for creators trying to make it? And what does it mean for us, the audience, who are just consuming this constant, escalating spectacle? It's a question that's probably going to define the next era of entertainment.